everyone, what is going on? My name's Alive. Hope you're all doing well today. In today's Payday 2 video, we're going to be talking about some brand new news, confirming that another console update is still in development for Payday 2 on Xbox One and PS4, talking about what's been said and what it might mean for the future. Now, there isn't a great deal to discuss, but it does offer some good opportunities to discuss what might be coming soon, and hopefully give us a bit more idea of what to expect. And before we get into it, I do want to remind everyone very quickly that in just 1 week now, on Saturday the 10th of August at 7:30 UK time, BST, you can look it up and change time zones if you want, but I'll be doing a live interview with Ian Russell, the voice of Locke. I did mention it in the last video, but I want to get as much people who know about it to ask as many questions as possible, basically. So if you have a question you want to ask Ian for the interview, leave it down in the comment section below. You can ask more than one as well if you want, and I'll use as many of them as I can in the live interview. We'll have some live chat questions, some questions you guys ask in the comments here. I've got some own personal questions for him, and we'll also get him to do some voice lines live on the stream. So if you guys are looking forward to it, make sure you stick around for that stream next Saturday, 10th of August at 7:30 PM BST. But either way, let's get in and talk about some console news. We've got some stuff to discuss, and hopefully it's going to yield some very good results very soon. So without further ado, roll the intro. So today's info is going to be based off a post in the Steam forums done by our usual guy, Goris, who works in the Overkill team, part of the console developers for those of you who don't know, and usually on Steam, he'll create a forum and post information about the latest update or what's coming and what we can expect, basically. We're going to read his most recent posts and discuss what they mean for the future of the console updates. So on the 29th of July, Goris posted in this particular Steam forum, "Hi Heisters, if you can write here or PM me how many Continental Coins you have collected, it would be helpful." So as a result, a bunch of people replied in the forums telling them how many they had, whether they spent them, you know, whether they've been saving up, blah 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 blah. It moved on to the next page then, and after quite a few replies, Goris then added on top, "Thank you Heisters, we have been working on the next update, but we have nothing more to share for now." As I said, there's not a great deal here he's posted, but there is some opportunity to discuss things here. Now first off, confirmation that the next console update is coming. We needed that. It's good to know they're still developing it, because as I've said previously, with everything going on with Starbreeze Studios and Overkill and the fact that they're almost bankrupt but not quite, they're still in their reconstruction, that doesn't end until next month. It's about a month to go. As I said in past videos, basically they shouldn't be making anything at all. They should be freezing all their assets and not spending money on doing updates, but they're choosing to keep up with console content. Maybe that means they're also working on Payday 3 behind the scenes. I don't know. That's a matter for another video, but we know they're still working on console stuff. So that's a very good sign as to when we might expect the next update. And I'll talk more about what I think will happen later. I've discussed it a bit more, but it's good to remind everybody. But more importantly, let's talk about what's happened as of recently. So the Continental Coins post. Now, that might not seem like something major, and it might seem like I'm trying to make something out of nothing here, but I genuinely think there is something worth discussing here. Now, I don't see there being any other reason for him asking this, because he's not just bored sat at his computer thinking, "Oh, I wonder how many Continental Coins people have." That's not something that's going to cross his mind. At least I hope that's not the case. But the point being, maybe he's thinking that because console players have had a chance now to get in and save up Continental Coins without being able to spend them, maybe that impacts what they're going to release and how they release it. So for instance, if you remember my crime spree video, I explained quite a lot there about how Continental Coins are used to buy crime spree rank or to save your crime spree if you fail, that kind of thing. You can use them in the actual crime spree gameplay, and also you can use them for safe house upgrades. You have them for team AI, but we have that on console, so that's fine, and also for buying attachments. Maybe, just maybe, he's thinking about adding new content in as part of this console team, adding new content into consoles on Xbox One and PS4, and maybe they're thinking about upping the prices of Continental Coins. Now, don't freak out when I say that, because obviously that would make it unfair compared to PC, but it's just something that I've got rolling around in my head right now. It makes me think, why else would he want to know how many Continental Coins we have? Is he checking to see if most players have a lot of coins, and because of that, does that mean they're going to up the prices? So for instance, with crime spree, if it costs 20 coins to do a rank 20 crime spree, I can't quite remember the price, I'm not looking at my Payday at the minute, but let's say it does, are they going to up it on consoles to 30 coins? For safe house upgrades, if they happen to have the safe house, which is wishful thinking, but let's say they do, if they have the safe house, are they going to increase the price to upgrade rooms? It's possible, but the problem with that, the hand-in-hand problem you have is that not everyone who plays Payday is going to respond to this forum. If they did, the forum would be way more packed than it currently is. He only had about a dozen replies, if that, as to how many people actually had coins and what their balance was in the game. So if the road they're going down here is something along the lines of, we want to know how many coins you've got, go from there, let's find out, then trusting what the people say in the forums is not nearly enough, so it's a very difficult one to wager. But because of that, that does point to what we may see in a future update. Now, as a lot of you know, to catch everyone up, I think that Payday 2 on consoles could get 2 more updates, and they could add everything we need in those. So splitting the heists up into 2 sections, the cutoff point being somewhere around Spring Break 2018, so about Henry's Rock, I would say, up to Henry's Rock for the next update. So Reservoir Dogs, Diamond Heist, Brooklyn Bank, Breaking Feds, and Henry's Rock in one update. Then Shacklethorne Auction, White House Heist, No Mercy, and Hell's Island, all in a separate update. I also said in between that I would imagine Crime Spree will be in the next update because it was meant to be in the one we just had, but sadly was not quite ready to launch. So Crime Spree is a given for the next update, unless something absolutely drastic happens, like a meteor hitting the servers and breaking the development progress they've made. It sounds as though Crime Spree is almost a done deal, and I hope that's going to be the case. But then it raises the question of, is Crime Spree the only Continental Coin thing they're adding into the game? Or is there something new they're doing that they haven't done on PC before? So first off, let's look at the safe house in its entirety. The safe house is a feature we've talked about before. It's very, very content heavy. On PC, it isn't that well optimized. It's hard to run on some computers. I mean, I have my issues with it, even on my new laptop that can get really good frame rates and stuff. It isn't the smoothest thing in the world, and it doesn't work as well as you might think. And so the content that requires building the safe house, having all the side jobs that go with it, having all the timers to reset missions and stuff, that's a lot of development for a team the size of Overkill's for console. That's a lot of work, it's a lot of effort. And in the past, Goris did talk about looking at alternatives for the safe house. So here's my theory. I think it's entirely possible that Overkill might just have a safe house cooking that is not like the PC one, but one that has the customization that we might want. It may not have the safe house raids, but it has some form of resemblance to the PC safe house, in the sense that you could upgrade the floors of the safe house if you want to. You will have all the pieces for the Payday 2 secret when those heists come out, so the medallion from Brooklyn Bank, the coffers from Henry's Rock, the obsidian plate from Shacklethorne Auction, so on and so forth. Maybe they're coming up with some kind of safe house, or maybe they're just upgrading the old safe house to house these features. They could well do that. We already have the old safe house on console, maybe that's what they're doing. But maybe they're trying to gauge, if we make this new safe house, how do we incorporate Continental Coins in, and let's see how many coins people have, and whether it's going to be worth increasing the cost for the people who've got a massive stack of coins to get them to keep playing and keep earning coins, rather than just coming in, spying everything, and then turning the game off again. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe that this safe house alternative that Goris mentioned a while ago might actually be getting some traction. It might actually be going somewhere. I mean, the only other option is using Continental Coins somewhere else, so maybe they might introduce a feature where you can use the offshore Payday feature with coins as well as offshore money. Maybe they'll introduce a feature where you can buy contracts with coins instead of money. But the problem is, anything they do that isn't on PC, they then also have to do on PC, otherwise PC players will get annoyed. Because even though they're like, oh, console players are so far behind, yada yada yada, if console's got a feature that PC didn't, and it wasn't just a mask, or like an exclusive platform mask, I think there would be riots. I genuinely do. So they've got to be very careful how they sort things and how they organise it. There are a lot of possibilities here, and it does leave things up for discussion to quite a notable extent. I know it sounds like I'm digging a lot out of one post, but I do really enjoy sometimes getting these little hints and discussing what it might possibly mean, and therefore asking you guys what you think. So as always, I want you to leave comments down below. Let me know what you think the symbolism is of this Continental Coin post. Do you think there's anything to it at all? Do you think I'm just making something out of absolutely nothing? Or do you think it actually does suggest that maybe Crime Spree is coming over and they might change the cost of coins for starting a Crime Spree, for gauge boosts, for anything like that? Do you think they're going to add a new Continental Coin feature to make the most of the stacks that people have been building up, at least for some people? Do you think that that means the safe house is coming? Do you think the safe house might be coming over in its own unique way to console? How do you feel about that? And do you have any other ideas as to what this post might resemble? As always, I want to get discussing with all of you down in the comment section below. It's always very important to me that we get talking about these things, we get theorizing, because Payday will only die when the players stop talking about it. That's the simple fact of it. Even if a console update takes a year, as the last one did, as long as we're all still talking, as long as we're all still playing, that is what matters. That is the key focus here. But that rounds off my discussion. I want to be able to talk about more, but there genuinely isn't anything to go off. All we know now is the console update is coming, and it is coming soon. We've got to be ready for it and excited. So as a reminder, Starbreeze's reconstruction will end in the early days of September. It's either the 3rd or the 9th of September, I believe. I think it's the 3rd of September, if I remember correctly, but don't quote me on that. Either way, it will end, and at that point, either Starbreeze will come out and actually give us answers, or they'll go bankrupt. Because at this point now, they would have had to apply for an extension to the reconstruction period, and they haven't yet done that. So unless they do that in the next few days, it suggests that the reconstruction will finally end, for better or worse, at the start of September. So either they'll come out, their plans will collapse, and they'll go bankrupt, which is what we don't want, or they'll come out and they'll execute their grand plan. A console update, Payday 3, Payday Crime War, who knows what comes first, who knows what comes last, but we will see. And you know the rules by now. As soon as there is news, I will be here to to discuss it. But until then, thank you all very much for watching. It's very much appreciated. I know sometimes it feels like I'm trying to clutch at straws to discuss things Payday, but I did think that honestly, there's some interesting theories you can discuss here, and the different possibilities of this Continental Coin post do really give up some very interesting suggestions. And maybe I've said something that Overkill don't know about. I know for a fact that Overkill are aware of the channel. Maybe they're watching this video now, maybe we've just given them a good idea. Overkill, if you are watching, feel free to have a look through the comments as well. There may be some good ideas down there that might be interesting to you guys. But other than that, thank you all very much for watching. As always, it is very much appreciated. And if you have enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Give it a big fat thumbs up. It is always greatly appreciated. And if you do fancy following the channel, seeing what we get up to over here for Payday content and anything in between, feel free to click that subscribe button, because you know the drill by now. It is quick, it is free, and I will always love you for doing so. And finally, I know it's a shameless plug, but if you do want to support me over on Patreon and keep the channel going, donations are never expected, but are always greatly appreciated, and there will be a link in the description on the top right corner of the screen now. Feel free to go click it, have a look, and see if it interests you and you fancy supporting the channel beyond watching videos and supporting me the way you guys already do. But other than that, thank you all for watching. I will see you all next week with a brand new video and hopefully some live streams in between. But until then, thank you all for watching. Take it easy, look after yourselves, and I will see you all in the next video.